Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this personal branding course. Whoops, I think I saw a little lag there. So, in this specific video, guys, I'm basically gonna go through what it is to basically start a personal brand, what are some of the benefits, and also why you should literally start one as soon as possible. Now, without further ado, let's literally go through it. Now, I fundamentally compile the theory of personal brand into three specific components. Number one is defining your personality, so actually identifying who you are as a person, building your personality. So once you understood who you are as a person, then to find basically some of the channels to basically, I keep saying basic so many times, but to essentially establish your personality on the platforms, and last but not least to basically last but not least to have a system in place that kind of operates as the main operation of your system. So in other words, basically systemizing your personal brand so that it's actually crystallized into a proper business structure. Now, before we begin, obviously, there are a few stuff you have to know about myself, because as a spectator, as a viewer, you would like to understand who I am as a person. Am I trustworthy? Do I have the qualifications? Am I the right person to tell you this? So this is basically my introduction. My name is Julian, and I'm actually a professional football player. I was in Johor, Police, and KL City. I'm currently with KL City. The football team signed for another year. So these are my social accounts. So as you guys can see, this is my Instagram on the left side and my TikTok on the right side. So as you guys can see, I literally have much more engagement on TikTok than I do have on Instagram, and I'll basically go through with you guys why that is the case and why I just prefer to be on TikTok. Anyway, so some of the events that I've been to is, as you guys can see on the left, this is GameSpawn. This is actually one of the launchings for FIFA 2024 or FC 2024. On the right side, this was a fun futsal session with Said Sadek. If you guys are into politics, you guys would probably know him. Here on the top left, this was a YouTube video for these YouTubers, which I honestly don't know much of, but I heard that they are gamers or popular YouTubers in Malaysia. So if you guys watch YouTube in Malaysia, you'll probably know them. On the right side, this
Welcome
was
to the
I would
Tarot
say an
Special
NGO
event.
project with the
Your
government
fate
as well.
is in
We
the
had the
cards.
sports minister YB Hanayo, who was also there, and other few celebrities which you guys know as well. On the bottom right, I don't know if I can play the recording, probably not. It was basically a video premiere of the new movie Tarot, which is basically a horror movie. At this time, it's probably already running at the cinema right now. But this movie or this premiere was basically an invitation for all influencers or content creators like myself. Know him. Here on the top left, this was a YouTube video for these YouTubers, which I honestly don't know much of, but I heard that they are gamers or popular stuff. So it's quite unfortunate I can't play these videos. But on the left side, this was actually the TikTok Awards. If you guys don't know what that essentially is, it's basically the last year TikTok Malaysia for the first time launched their, I would say, award ceremony for TikTok people. So how it works is basically like an Oscars where they just handle or give out awards to specific creators. I didn't win anything, but yeah, overall the award show was absolutely fantastic. In the middle is the FC launching place. Again, quite unfortunate I cannot play the video, so you guys can't see much. And on the right side is MotoGP event, and that is basically, if you guys are into F1, which is for racing, MotoGP is literally the same concept but for motorbikes. Now, let's literally jump straight to what a personal brand is, why it's so important, and once you have a personal brand, how do you actually manage one. Now, if you guys are in the online space, you probably have heard some of these people. Andrew Tate is probably the most prominent here. Luke Belmore's on the top right. Iman Ghazi, he's quite popular among the Gen Zs. He's quite popular among, I would say, more of the younger generations. Alex Hamosi on the right side with the school cap, he's, I would say, more well known towards the middle age because he actually started off in sales. So a lot of people in sales will probably know him as well. One second, guys. Um, yeah, on the left is Elon Musk, and on the right, Donald Trump. You probably know these prominent figures. If you guys didn't know, they actually do have a personal brand, and even maybe they haven't created one themselves, they have a team or a company or basically a few people who manage their PR, and which they essentially have developed his personal brand or their personal brand um, for their instance. Now, Tony Fernandez is a Malaysian one. You guys probably know him. If you're Malaysian, he is the founder of Air Asia. I'm not sure if he's the CEO. I mean, probably it doesn't really matter at this point, but Tony Fernandez is very active on TikTok. In fact, I just saw his TikToks today, so he's quite a cool person. Sai Sadek on the right side, he's a politician. He's, oh gosh, I don't want to get the titles wrong, but I believe he's the Minister of Education, if I'm not mistaken. Forgot which party he's from. Oh, sorry, it's Harapan, Pakatan Harapan. He's actually has his own party, which is Muda at this point. Doesn't really matter, but the point is that he has a personal branding as well, and hence why basically anyone can start a personal brand. You don't have to be the most successful business person, and on the other hand, you don't have to be like, you can be a successful person or you can be a businessman to start with. It doesn't matter what your occupation is. I mean, we'll probably go through this in just a second, but anyone can literally start a personal brand. Now, I want you guys to understand the main differences between a personal brand and an organization in the perspective of a consumer. Now, if you were a consumer, if you're an audience, if you look towards a company or a brand or an organization, the main thing what you're focused on as a consumer is the product and the service, and the service. So that's basically what you would like to focus on when you want to invest or purchase or essentially consume from the brand. You look at the products and services. Now if it's a personal brand, it's the other way around. So if it's a personal brand, they focus on the person. So you are the person that is selling the product. So the main focus as a consumer towards a personal brand is the person itself. So with that being said, in fact, whatever product the personal brand sells, it actually doesn't even matter at this point because they are so invested in the person that if you are a person who has a very good personal brand, I can guarantee you guys whatever you sell, you'll obviously sell it because they are already invested into who you are. Now, specifically, organizational values have very often a unified vision. This doesn't really change, but from what I understand, they do adapt to markets, but often it's a vision that is quite universal, quite standardized, and it's, everyone within the organization is like chasing after that unified vision. There's a consistent goal. So obviously companies have their annual goals, they have their benchmarks they want to hit, and it's very often internationally standardized, meaning that the international markets is essentially where the standards are set. Audiences invest in your product. I mentioned this earlier, and also it is terminal. So you guys have probably know this if you're into business as well. So if you guys have been working or have started your business a few times or one time, I guess, then you guys will realize, oh shit, there's like an ending point towards my business. Today to tomorrow, my business might just literally disappear and nobody will remember it. Like literally, that's the case. A business can start today, end tomorrow, and nobody will ever even realize like that you were in the market. And it's not really your fault, but it's literally how the game works. And businesses have been running for so many times, but the markets just move so quick that eventually people just forget you. And I would say that is the plus side of a personal brand because they are invested in you as a person. So like the business doesn't end. I mean, obviously it ends when you when you die, I guess. But even then, I guess because I put it there below, it can be carried through generations. Now, if you carry a a name, you probably know this. Then your sons or like the generations that come after you kind of carry your reputation as well. Now, when it comes to personal values, they're adaptable visions. Your goals can be changed, standardized by comparison, and the audience, as I mentioned earlier, is heavily invested in you. And okay, I don't want to go too much into this, but it's quite obvious to understand that the money that is generated, basically the revenue that is incurred by the organization, is one, tax, and number two, it is a financial breakdown where you kind of have to dismantle it to the other staff. Now, if you have a personal brand, the money literally ends up with you, and like whoever. Obviously, if you hire an, I don't know, video editing team, or you have some other guys working in the background, then you obviously distribute the money as well. But the point is that the financial power, like basically what you do with the money, is in your hands, so you can kind of decide. Now, that was basically the introduction of personal branding, and in the next video, guys, I basically help you, or in essence, create that personality, or let you find out the type of personality you are, so that we are literally a step closer to start your personal brand. I'll see you guys in the next video.